Hi everyone, Dawn Robinson. Very thankful we made it through Monday. How is everyone doing tonight? So how many people here are having spring break in their area this week? I know we actually just had spring break last week, so today was the first day back to school for the kids. But down here in Texas, we have spring break a little bit early. So I know that there's a lot of people that either have spring break this week or in the next week or two. So I thought about, after dealing with last week, I thought of sharing a few tips with everyone on things you can do to help you survive spring break. And I will be completely honest, I typically do plan out a bunch of stuff for spring break, but my husband Mark had to deal with the kids this last week. I had to work all week, so he got stuck doing spring break duty. But I have planned it through in the past, and I did try to help him a little bit last week. But these are a few things that I've figured out over the years have worked really well for us. So I have two kiddos at home, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, so a little bit older. And so we've had to go through this a few years. So I'm going to give you 3 tips and also a couple, actually I have an idea too for an activity. But my very first tip is to schedule out all your activities in advance and put them on a calendar. Now I know this seems like a lot of work to schedule activities for the whole spring break and put it on a calendar, but trust me, this will save your sanity so much, especially if you have multiple kids in the house. And I'm not talking detailed, to-the-minute plans. I mean, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm talking about just maybe 1 or 2 things a day that you're planning on doing. And what this does is it gives kids an idea of what's going to be happening through the week, so they are not constantly bugging you, number 1. And number 2, they're not going, I'm bored, like expecting you to keep them entertained. It's like, look, you have what is on this calendar as being planned. Any other time beyond that, it's on them to keep themselves occupied. And that kind of sets those expectations up front so that you're not having to answer those questions of what they can do all week. See? It's smart, right? And this actually works. So it gives them and it gives them something to look forward to, right? Because they can see the things on the calendar. Now, tip number 2 is to do something with the kids every day. And these would be the things that you would put on that calendar. And I'm not talking anything crazy. Yeah, I know some people go on trips, whatever. We may do something, but we definitely do not spend the whole week going out. We're usually here at home for spring break. So I'm not talking anything crazy. It can be something as simple as having the kids help you with dinner one evening, and that can be your item that you put on the list. So just something that you're doing together as a family at least once per day. And again, it can be just making dinner together. It can be an outing, like going to the zoo or going out and doing something, but it doesn't have to be, okay? Kids are happy just spending time with you. It doesn't have to be anything crazy or involved. I would say you would probably want to do something a little out of the ordinary. It doesn't have to be something you've never done before, obviously. But if you always read a story to the kids before bed, that doesn't really count. Sorry. It has to be something that's a little, that they would look forward to, okay? So if they don't usually help you with dinner, or if maybe they only help you with dinner every once in a while, that might be a great thing to do. Or even something, if they like to do gardening with you, at least here in San Antonio, it's starting to warm up a little bit. I know some of you are still having terrible weather, sorry. But if you're able to work outside, you know, kids like to rake and, you know, plant seeds and do that kind of stuff. But it does not have to be calculated. It doesn't have to be complicated. So just something that you can figure out. And if your kids are a little bit older, you guys can actually do this together. Get out the calendar, or, you know, just draw up some squares for the week, you know, with both weekends. And you can come up with ideas together if your kids are a little bit older. So one idea that I had, of course, I like doing a lot of crafts. But one thing I did that I started with my daughter, and we actually didn't finish it, so she's going to finish it later, is we got some of these really inexpensive. In fact, I got it at Dollar Tree. They're canvas boards. And so they're $1 each, the 8x10. You can get the smaller ones that come in like 2 packs, but $1 for an 8x10, and it's just a canvas board. And what I did is I drew a little picture on it with Sharpie. And don't ask me why this bird has extra long legs. That's just what my daughter Sarah asked for. But I drew this in Sharpie, and again, this is on canvas, so it's pretty sturdy. And if your kids are a little bit older, so I would say, you know, grade school, preschool may be a little bit young for this, but grade school at least, they can take Sharpies and color this in. It's kind of like those adult coloring books, right, or a coloring book page, but it's nice because it's on something sturdy that they can hang up or put in their room afterwards. And, you know, at least for my kids, I don't let them play with Sharpies that often. So that's just in and of itself, they're really excited because they get to like play with Sharpies, right? Mom has one of those giant 24 packs of different colors. So this is cheap. I mean, if you don't already have Sharpies, getting Sharpies, but I think you can even get those at Dollar Tree. And then this is $1. Super simple. You spend, you know, maybe the first 10 minutes or so doing this with them, or if they're older, they can even draw their own. But if they're younger, you know, drawing and something for them. And then they have something quiet to do for 20, 30 minutes. Simple, right? Not complicated. And my third tip for surviving spring break, and we literally just did this weekend, is you need to get back to your bedtime wake up routine 2 full days before school starts again. Now, it was super rough for us because the time change happened while we were on spring break. So the kids, their sleep schedule has been crazy because they have not been able to go back. They have not had to wake up with this darkness, right? Because it totally happened while they were on spring break. So we had to start this weekend, but it was worth it. And to make it worse, my daughter Sarah had testing today. So she was going straight from spring break, had to be on the ball this morning so that she could do testing. So we needed to make sure, and it really does make it go so much smoother the first day back. If you start, and it doesn't have to be all the way, if they go to bed at 8:30, maybe you do like 9 o'clock or something the day, you know, 2 days before, and then move it, you know, before. But just something closer to what their typical time is, or else everybody is going to be miserable the day back. So those are my top 3 tips for surviving spring break. Schedule out your activities for the week. Put it on a calendar. You can have older kids help you do that. And those things you put on that calendar, tip number 2, schedule something with the kids that you're doing with them every single day, even if it's something simple, 15 minutes, you know, but something you can put on the calendar saying, I am going to spend time with you every single day. And tip number 3, start getting back into your routine 2 days before. It'll make it so much simpler to get everybody back into the routines when it's time to go back to school. If you would like 3 more activities besides this cute one for things that you can do with your grade school kiddos while they're on spring break, feel free to reach out to me via Messenger and I'll send those over to you. I know my kids have fun doing lots of crafts and stuff, so I don't mind sharing. Otherwise, you guys have a great week. It's good talking to you. Bye.